Sonic Mania. It's what we were promised for so many years. I mean, I was born in '91. That's the first year that Sonic the Hedgehog came out. When I was young, I had a Sega Genesis. I had the Sonic games. I own all of them in Sega Genesis form, except for Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So if you got that, give me a call. But it basically defined what I'd say as my youth. Like, Sonic was my guy. That was my man. Mario, I didn't really give a shit. Donkey Kong, oh well. Donkey Kong's racing was pretty good, but other than that. So when they said they were remaking a 2D Sonic game, I was all in. I wanted to forget the past. I did a video on Sonic Adventure 1 years ago. I've been trying to do a video on Sonic Adventure 2 for years, even though like I've maxed that shit out on GameCube. I got it on PC nowadays, but I just don't play it. It's hard to go back and look at those games, and 3D doesn't really age that well. But you know what ages perfectly? 2D animation. 2D sprites that they look like the old ones, but they're polished up. It's brand new. You're benefiting from added frames. You're benefiting from smoother transitions. You're benefiting from a more intelligent level design. And I feel like Sonic Mania really brought that. You got this basically made by super fans, right? Christian Whitehead, he's awesome. He's doing God's work with Sonic, and I'm glad to see it. Now, here's the thing. I can't really sell this game on nostalgia alone, so let me tell you about it. It's a Sonic the Hedgehog game. You're playing as Sonic, you can play as Tails, you play as Knuckles, and with the expansion, they actually added Mighty and Ray as well. Two kind of lesser known characters, unless you're into the comics or the some old school games. Now, there's a lot of running, it's platforming, it's fast, but it's not overly fast. A lot of Sonic games have had issues where you're going so fast that you can't really see what's coming and you get injured as a result. I didn't feel like this one was that cheap for the most part. There's always those sections which I feel like, oh, that enemy could have been placed a little better, but in this game, I didn't feel it was too bad. And now it's a mix of basically what new, completely original levels, remixed levels, and then callback levels. And like, I was a little confused on some of their choices of the callback levels. I was really sad we didn't get like a Casino Night Zone, but I get it because we had like a Studiopolis, and that kind of has the similar vibe. But the physics are right, and that's the important thing, because that's what a lot of Sonic fans complain about for years and years and years with all these ripoffs. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, if they had nailed the physics, maybe people would have been a little bit more forgiving about it. But it feels legitimately like you're playing Sonic 3, kind of a mix between Sonic CD and Sonic 3. It's right there. The graphics are on point, everything looks proper, and the gameplay is on point. And that's really all you could ask for. Because in general, things that Sonic the Hedgehog has screwed up over the last 15 years has been story and gameplay. They try to ham-fist a story in there that is redonkulous. And then they got gameplay with wonky cameras, not an issue in 2D. Wonky controls, less of an issue in 2D, and potentially a wonky kind of accidental deaths. And again, that's something that's easier to prevent when you're not working in a 3D space. So, is it the perfect Sonic game? By no means. It's not the perfect Sonic game. I would say I still have more fun than Sonic 3. I mean, that game, mind you, could be nostalgia talking, but that game to me had a real epic feel to it, right? By the time you get to the end of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and you're fighting, say, I do always like Knuckles playthrough, so in that case I'm fighting Super Mecha Sonic. I was like, holy shit, it felt big, right? It felt big, it felt important. I'd say Sonic Mania doesn't get the big importance feel across as much, but what it does get is, it gets a game that makes Sonic feel like Sonic. It makes you remember why Sonic was right. At one point in time, this guy was the king. He was the king. He was going to take down Mario and reign supreme with Sally the Squirrel. But it didn't really happen that way. And all I can say is, thank God that there's some sort of beacon of light out there in Sonic Mania when you see that the Sonic Forces game apparently sucked balls, and then there's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out, which they've already sent back for reanimation because it was that horrifying. So if Sega is listening to this, please stop and just make more 2D games. Thank you.